Now, also being considered possible legal action against the state's so-called sanctuary laws. But the OC Board of Supervisors is not alone. Their move follows the city of Los Alamitos officially rejecting California's sanctuary status. And another city in Southern California is also poised to also say no to Moonbeam and his band of merry anti-constitutionalists. So is this the beginning of the end of this rampant lawlessness in the Golden State? Joining me now from Southern California, Mayor of Aliso Viejo, David Harrington. Mayor, Orange County seems to be a little bit of a constitutional oasis in a desert of lawlessness in California. This is something that I think a lot of people in this country were not expecting.
Yeah, I don't think we were expecting either. I think the action that Los Alamitos took was they didn't just knock the dominoes over. They did a Chuck Norris karate chop kick to the dominoes, and I think it's fantastic. You know, it's about time we start pushing back on these really bad public safety policies, and there's no time like now before they just keep pushing them down on us, Graham, and we got to start fighting back.
So Los Alamitos, you mentioned this. Do you believe that their move is they're talking about conjoining a lawsuit that the Department of Justice has against the state of California based on the sanctuary status. Beyond that, is this a symbolic move as well, saying, hey, we're not going to accept your policies because we believe that they are unconstitutional?
So I think it's both. It's both symbolic and it's actually very substantive. So the symbolic part of it is like we're tired of having all of these bad public safety policies passed. Listen, I worked at the Orange County Sheriff's Department for almost 29 years. So you see what they're doing now with providing information on release dates on the internet. So that's great. We need to give them cover. We need to support that activity that the Sheriff's Department is doing, as well as what the city of Los Alamitos is doing, and the Board of Supervisors. Michelle Steele and Sean Nelson stepped right up, and now they're going to join in this action. So we all need to stand together. Huntington Beach is doing it now. Yorba Linda just did an amicus brief in support of the United States Attorney General. So you're going to see a lot more, I think, more cities getting involved in this.
Huntington Beach is not even in Orange County, last I checked, is it?
Yeah, they are.
So
yeah, their Surf City is right on the coast.
So it's beyond Orange County. It could be spreading, like Moonbeam would consider it a cancer. For your city, what is the game plan? Do you have to bring it up before a council? How is this going to work, your pushback against sanctuary status?
So what we'll probably have to do, because we're a little bit different than Los Al. Los Al's a charter city. We're a general law city. We'll probably have to do something along the lines of a resolution, basically supporting the Orange County Sheriff's Department's efforts, supporting the Board of Supervisors, and supporting Los Alamitos and our neighboring cities that are joining this effort. So it'll probably look something like that for us.
So I want to touch on this a little bit because you've mentioned it now a couple of times, the Orange County Sheriff's Department. Essentially, the sheriff says, wait a minute, we are going to help federal law enforcement in the effort to get rid of, deport, at least detain probable illegal immigrants in the state of California. And we're going to do it by releasing information on the internet of when we're going to release these potential illegal immigrants. So the federal law enforcement can have a good look at it. That's kind of the way it's going to work?
Yeah, so it's a step towards transparency that the Sheriff, Sandra Hutchins, what she's doing with this program. So I commend that effort because it's a step in the right direction. So that's what it's going to do. It's going to put this information on the internet so they can at least look at it and see if there's anybody there. It's not as much as we need to do, but it's a step in the right direction. Keeps us less safe. And keep this in mind, Graham. This is what's really important. We're talking about people who break the law. Not only are they here unlawfully to begin with, but then they break the law after they're here. So that's who we're talking about. We're talking about people who are criminals. And you know, the idea that these people are going to automatically be deported it's wrong-headed. These people will get interviewed by ICE. That's what we're talking about. They determine who immediately gets deported and who has to come back for court dates. The process is fully drowning in due process. So the idea that somehow they're not being treated fairly, it's just not true.
Well, you know, on this program, we view the fact that you're an illegal immigrant necessarily that you have broken the law. You know, it is not a felony; it's technically a misdemeanor, yet it is still breaking the law. So if you commit a crime after you've violated our sovereignty and our southern border, or maybe violated a visa, so you're a double criminal the way I look at it. So when you talk about this issue and pushing back against the sanctuary status in California and what's happening out of Sacramento, What's the response among citizens and residents of your city, and what's the response out of Sacramento?
So I haven't heard too much out of Sacramento, but as far as the information that I've been getting, it's been very supportive. I do get some negative remarks. It's kind of fun. You know, they conflate issues. They claim you're anti-immigrant. It has nothing to do with being anti people who follow the law.
It's pro-rule of law, right?
It's pro-rule of law,
Yeah.
completely 100%. I'm anti-criminal, period. That's my approach. So I'm responsible for 50,000 people, Graham. That's how many people live in my city. I take it personal. I'm going to do whatever I think is right. And this is the right thing to do. Keeping criminals off the street. I don't understand how that is a bad thing.
No, it's fantastic. I think it's fantastic. You folks should be applauded. The other cities taking part, the sheriff's taking part, saying, hey, no more of this lawlessness. We're going to stand for the rule of law, and the United States Constitution is a fantastic thing. And Mayor, keep us informed, will you please?
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Graham. Appreciate it.
Coming up next.